Hello, I am the Librarian, and today, Lavonde and I will be making Dr. Chow, which is really just a basic snack mix, but with, additional fiber, because apparently, once you hit middle age, that's all you care about. Anyway, there are many, many ways to make snack mixes. This is just one way. And in this case, the doctor does prefer savory things to sweet. So we will be doing a savory version. So first, I'm going to put Lavonde out of the way. And now the thing with snack mixes is you can make them out of basically anything, as long as they're small and munchy. So we've got a couple kinds of cereal. We have assorted nuts and seeds, and spice mix. And this time we're going to be using olive oil. Usually I use butter as the material that holds the flavorings to the ingredients. But apparently the doctor is supposed to watch their cholesterol as well. So we will be going with the olive oil, since that is supposed to be better for you. Well, let's just get this started. First, I'm going to use a cup of Cheerios, because Jester bought them because they're on sale. Do any of us really care for Cheerios? Not really, but no. Well, Jester bought them because they're on sale, because a Jester is apparently turning into her mother. And just buying whatever's on sale, regardless of whether she cares for it or not. Set that aside. Collect up the lost cereal bits. So we're going to take that and add that to our bowl. Next we have specialty fiber cereal, which pour a cup of that out. Looks like something you'd feed your guinea pig. But whatever, it's fiber. Next, we've got pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to put in about half a cup of those. Just like, do you like pumpkin seeds? No? Put something else in. Or maybe you're allergic to, tree seeds or plant seeds or whatever. Now, I just throw the whole bag in. That was about half a cup. All right. Next, I have peanuts. Now we get into the slightly more complicated stuff, because the other thing that our doctor is fussy about is that we've got almonds, and now while the doctor does quite like almonds, it doesn't match the size of the other cereals and nuts. So we're going to take half a cup of those, and we are going to, we might as well take them all. If nothing else, Jester apparently bought the exact right amount of things. So I'm just going to roughly chop those. So ideally we want these all chopped about in half. It's not going to be perfect, but that's all right. We have made an effort. Now, what I really need is one of those bench scrapers. Have to get Jester to pick me up one next time she's out running errands. And then, to add no nutritional value, but some tastiness, I've got some pretzels. And again, it's a little more than a half cup, but there'd only be like 3 left over, and that would be silly. So I am going to, again, roughly chop. Anyway, there we go. So here is our mix. We're just gonna mix that up. And drop the towel. Hang on. Now for the seasonings. So, got my little glass bowl. I'm going to take some olive oil. I'm just going to estimate this maybe a couple of tablespoons worth. It will both help the spices to stick to it and add flavor. And we're going to want a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And that's my oven reaching temperature, which in this case is 300 degrees, because we're doing a low and slow cook on these rather than, you know, a high and fast one. In terms of spices, I have, a little bit of Old Bay left from last time I made it, which is not going to be enough. So I'm also going to add, I don't have the right things to make more yet. That will be on my list. So I'm going to add a little more celery salt, since that is a major component of it. And some smoked paprika. And I didn't grab a spoon. It's always something. So I need a spoon not only to get into the container, but to scoop it as well. Come on. There we go. Throw in, oops, a little more of that. Add some more pepper. And some more salt. Not a whole lot of salt, since the pretzels are already salted. So we're gonna mix that up. So the last time I made this, I had, slightly different cereal mix, and I used garlic and Parmesan powder, which worked out quite nicely. But we're out of Parmesan powder. So now I'm going to start adding my mixed spices to my nuts and cereal. I'm just going to add this a little bit at a time because I don't want one place to get soggy while the rest is unflavored. I mean, that's already starting to look pretty good, but, you know, more flavor is always better. Alright, that looks pretty well coated. So now I'm going to switch out my cutting board for my foil lined tray. And I'm going to dump that out. And I'm going to smooth this out as well as I can. Now, ideally you have just one layer, but this is the size of my cookie sheets. And as long as it's not, you know, just a big pile, you will be okay. Plus, we'll be stirring this a little. There we go. Now, I'm going to put that in for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and give it a stir and put it back in. And we're going to do that now. At least one more time. Alright, back for a moment to give this a stir. Oof. Well, it does smell quite strong, which is exactly what we want. But we also want to give this a stir to make sure that it's getting dried out properly. There we go. That's flattened back into a single layer again, and back into the oven for another 15 minutes. Alright, that's been another 15 minutes. So my snack mix should be all properly dehydrated and with, you know, all these spices correctly stuck to the ingredients. Now, what I'm supposed to do is wait another 15 minutes for this to cool down, because it is best at room temperature and, you know, it finishes the adhesion process. But I have so many things to do this afternoon, and waiting around to film one more bit where I taste it is just going to be astoundingly annoying. So I'm just going to scoop up a little bit now. And just give it a toss between my hands to cool it. And see how this turned out. Yep, that turned out pretty good. Not quite the Old Bay flavor that I wanted, since I didn't have quite enough of my Old Bay seasoning. But, you know, between the Worcestershire sauce and, you know, the additional seasonings I threw in, it's still quite strong. And I think that will keep the doctor munching and not complaining for at least a few days. So, until next time.